keep a positive mindset, guys, and then we'll get through this together.
Hey everyone, I'm Kathy.
And I'm Ariella, and we're back with another one.
So today we're gonna have Billy, and he's gonna talk about.
The key to motivation.
So Billy is a third-year bio major in the Gamma Lambda Pledge class of fall 2019, and he is on the pre-med route. And he has a lot of great things to say, so stay tuned.
What's up, guys?
How are you today? What have you been doing?
Nothing all morning. I woke up, ran a little bit, and then just been watching anime since then.
What are you watching?
Oh, I was watching Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh my god, that's my favorite. Oh my god, that's my favorite. I watched it like 45 times. I've watched
Yeah.
both of them.
Both of them, Brotherhood and the original one.
Yeah. Oh my god, if you have which one are you watching? Are you watching the new one? I'm so sorry.
I started Brotherhood, but then I finished the original. But I heard that it was different, so I want to try the Brotherhood one.
You should, dude. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Okay. But Brotherhood is the happy ending, so.
Is that the one with the robot that's like a brother?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's so good. Okay, oh my god, tell me when you finish.
Okay, for sure.
So we know you had a lot of plans for building your career experience for the summer and into your third year, but we all know like quarantine made it a lot more challenging. But we thought you still accomplished so much. So what are some struggles that you faced during this pandemic?
Mm-hmm. I mean, like the transition to remote, like everyone has experienced. For me, that was probably the biggest transition because personally, this my second year in college has been my most social year so far. Like I was always out with friends, no matter whether it be studying or like going hanging out or just doing something. It was always with people from AED, from our pledge class, or people like just my personal friend group in general. And just that transition from being super social to like cooped up inside my own little room, like for like 12 hours a day, doing homework, studying nonstop. That was probably the hardest part for me because like, your friends, my friend was my major like stress relief outlet. It's where like if I was feeling burned out, we just joke around and like, take some of the stress off, take my mind off like studying, like tests, whatever it is. And just having that gone was definitely kind of hard. And with that, I've lost like a little motivation too, because like going to the events and hangouts are like the reason like it kind of motivated me to study harder because like I want to get my stuff done so I can like go out and hang out with them or do whatever it is I want to do and like just follow through with my plans. But losing that social interaction was pretty hard. And the second one I'll say was probably my just like the 2 years that I planned out this year. This year in AD, like studying abroad, like, from what Ryan Hall and Terrence told me, it was super fun. Because I was planning on going abroad to Sussex or like England. Yeah.
Right.
I was,
I remember. GL,
yeah,
I had that trip planned.
For real? Wait, y'all all planned a trip? Bruh.
I think
Wait,
Where is
didn't
my
you,
class?
wait, Ariella, didn't you study abroad in Sussex, right?
I went to London, but I forgot what the school was called.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure it's the University of Sussex. It's one of UCI's study abroad program for physics, where we cram the entire year of physics and physics lab, so like 30 weeks worth of stuff, into 8 weeks. I mean, it sounds like crazy, but then at the same time, it was an experience that I was really looking forward to this summer at least. And the way Ryan Hall and like Terrence they were talking about it, I was really looking forward to like experiencing all of that. Just like being abroad, being by myself, exploring city of Europe, all of that. So that was pretty rough. And then I mean, spring quarter classes were being changed around because of remote instructions and just having to adapt to that and like coming up with new plans and like on the spot sometimes with the class schedule. That was probably the most the difficulties I've had like transitioning to remote and with the pandemic and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that, like, I don't know, I had so many plans for, like, finishing up, because you're pre-med, right? We're both
Yeah.
like,
so much random stuff to, it's not random, but it's like so much stuff to do, and I just had stuff planned out. When you have like a career path like that, it's just like you plan out everything per year, and it's like I need to get this done, and then when the pandemic happens, you're like, oh my god, what do we do? And it feels like you're the only one, but it's like everyone else, you know. So like with those struggles, how did you like motivate yourself to continue, you know, striving for the goals? Because you still like got on board and all that stuff, and like I feel like you did get a job and you hit a lot of stuff, and probably a lot of stuff I don't know about. So how did you motivate yourself to like continue even though the
Yeah.
work ended?
I mean, that was definitely a struggle, I'd say, for not just me, but a lot of people, was just like finding a way to motivate yourself and push yourself forward. And for me, it was definitely something that was super hard at first. And it was like more of a not a trial and error, but just exploring like what works for you. And well, in the long run, for me, it's always been the one goal is just seeing the bigger picture, seeing where I want to be in like 2 years, 4 years, like down, like any amount of time down, like my life journey, like where I want to be in the future, and just reminding yourself of the bigger picture and reminding yourself that this pandemic is only like a short portion of that, of your experience. And no matter what, like it sucks right now, the pandemic sucks, and like not being able to hang out with friends sucks. But then I wouldn't want just this pandemic to ruin the rest of my life for me. And I had to keep moving forward and not sitting still in one spot. And then, I mean, you can always dwell on it and you can always like be sad about it, but then seeing the bigger picture and seeing where you want to be, you realize that dwelling and being sad isn't gonna help you get to where you want to be. And why not use this time being alone to, you know, like, because like you're no longer hanging out with friends as much, no longer going out. So why not use that extra time to like just to make yourself better, improve yourself, and like whether it be like having the time to study now, more time to study and getting better grades, and also like the one thing that would help a lot was having a good support group, like, and that's what your friends are for, whether it is, for me it was inside AD or outside AD, just having people who are in the same class as you that you know you guys can rant to, or like study with, or ask for study advice, and all those tiny stuff just really help motivate you a lot.
So I've actually like had that mindset for a while, but recently I'm like dying. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's been so long. And I feel like in quarantine, it's like everything is just like, it comes right after another. It's like, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. Oh, you wanna hang out with friends? Well, too bad, you're gonna get sick.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. It's really rough.
Dude, to be honest, it was the opposite for me. Like the first 3 months, I had no motivation, and then I realized my whole summer's gone, or like spring break's over. All these things are passing by. My dates are messed up, but then I sort of finally realized I need to go back to getting work done, because life was not paused, even though it seemed like it at the beginning.
I feel like life is busier in quarantine. I don't know what's going on, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like seeing other people like try their best, or especially people with like friends who are like in the same mindset as you, who are also struggling and also trying their best to just be their best in this pandemic and quarantine. That also motivated me too. Like seeing like how like, yeah, it's like not the best of times right now, but like people are still trying to do their best to like do whatever they can to be where they are, and that is also a motivating factor as well.
I agree. Like just doing the best out of the shitty outcomes we got, you know. Just do the best we can.
So I've always known you as the person that goes the extra mile. Like, so when you first joined, like we were part of the group of people who kind of help you guys integrate into the org and like introducing you to events and all that stuff. And like your class would be like, oh, Billy woke up at 5 a.m. today to do workouts, come to this 8 a.m. volunteering event. And I'd be like, what is wrong with this kid? What is wrong with him?
I did not believe that, because that sounded insane. Who does that?
Yeah, so we just wanted to know what helps you with following through with like fitness goals and stuff, because I know that's like something that's on a lot of people's minds that it's really hard to accomplish. I don't know, it's just like fitness people can't do it, you know?
Yeah.
For you, it just seemed like I'm sure there was a lot of struggle behind it, but I don't know about it. So I want to know.
As people that don't work out, we need some words of wisdom.
Yeah, I mean, fitness has always been like a big part of my life. Not as big as it was now. I kind of grew up like very like sports minded. I've always like loved sports personally for me. But the reason why, like, besides just like trying to stay in shape and stay fit, the reason why I do fitness is because like for me it's always like a consistency and then more of like an accountability and just having discipline with yourself. And it's definitely like waking up. I mean, I don't do it. I didn't. I would do it sometimes, but then I did it more of a consistent basis, like over time. It was just something that a habit you gotta build. And with like, it's just, you just have to be like dedicated to it and hold yourself accountable. Like, no matter if I wake up some days and I'll be like dead tired, it's like cold outside, but I'll still like drag myself out of bed and just go and get a workout in. And the reason why I do that is because for me, it's sort of like seeing how like the reflection of the fitness, like the discipline and the accountability in everyday life as well. I see like, I mean, when we're given like projects or homework, we don't want to do it, right? But then you still do it yourself because that's what you're accountable for. You have to hold yourself accountable. You have to turn homework on time. Even when you're busy with work, with all your other struggles in life, all your other problems, there's something you still do. And so that's what I see reflected in fitness, as in like, it's another way for me to stay consistent and like practice being accountable and having consistency with my just life. And I mean, like, besides that, I'm like so adamant on like making sure I get my workout in because, well, I mean, like, I'm not sure if everyone knows this, but I wasn't always fit. Like, going to freshman year of college, I mean, like in high school, I gained a lot of weight too because I played football. And I just kind of had to gain that weight for football. But then after high school, that weight just never left. It just stayed on me. And I just kept like, I just kept getting more and more and more weight. And freshman year, I really let go because it's like you first start college, everything was like kind of crazy. You're trying to adjust to the schedule. But once I did that, I realized that like I had to just like get in better shape because like it's not good to be like that overweight and like and be like have that much weight on me. So, and seeing that pay off, like all my hard work pay off over time, that's been like a huge motivation factor for me. Saying like, no matter how impossible it seems, like you can still do it if you put your mind to it and like just be consistent with your goal, like driving yourself toward achieving your goal.
Okay, so it's 4:30 a.m. on December 12th. It's like cold outside and stuff. And you and you got 3 hours of sleep. What are you telling yourself in that moment when you wake up to get up when you just want to go back to sleep?
Saying that this sucks, then you've done it before and you've done it multiple times. And how like if I skip right now this morning, I'm just gonna regret it. I know I'll be really mad at myself throughout the day, saying like, why did you skip? Like you could have just done it, get on it done with, and like moved on with your day, and do whatever you want to do. But if I skipped it, like maybe if I'm like dead tired, then yeah, I'll skip it. But if I have like a bit of energy left in me, like I'll go and get my workout in because it's not something I want to regret later on. Be like, yeah, you broke like a promise to yourself, like how like you want to stay in shape.
Bro,
And I mean, like, that's what I would think. But then,
That's a good
honestly, the first thing I would wake up is probably just like go drink your pre-workout, go get some coffee into you, caffeine into you, and that'll just wake me up and that'll get me through it.
bro, I'm always just like, oh my god, tomorrow. Let's start tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's really.
I mean, like after a while, you just get used to it. I feel like
Yeah.
it sucks, but then your body gets used to it, and you build a mindset. And if you're just consistent with it, it just gets easier. But then once you break the consistency, like it's like a habit. If you break it, it just gets harder to like get back into it.
So when you started, well, when you started this fitness journey, I guess, is it the first time like you started and followed through, or like did you try in the past and you failed?
No, definitely not my first time. I tried like a lot in the past to get into better shape and just to lose weight overall. It's like sometimes it worked for a little bit and then I would just stop it and then I just go back to where I was before. It's definitely something like I've tried multiple times in the past and failed a lot. It just takes a lot of like trial and error. And it's when I realized that it doesn't matter what you do to get in shape or how you do it. The thing that matters the most is that you are consistent with it. Like
That's dope.
the consistency is like the key to, for me, for fitness at least. Because like if you're not consistent with it, if you work out really hard in, let's say, this 1 week, right? And you skip the next week, and then all the hard work you put in for 1 week, all that suffering, it's just gonna go out the window. And then like all that sacrifice you made, it doesn't matter anymore. So like for me, that's the reason why like, consistency is key. That's why I've learned over like all my trial and errors. Like you have to be dedicated to it. It sucks now, but then when you see the result, like the long-term goal, I guess back to the scene, the big picture, it's like it's worth those like all these sacrifices that I made.
That's dope. That's dope. Thank you.
As like pre-health students, we feel like there's never enough time to do anything else but study, or just get stuff done for our future that's related to that, you know. So how do you know when to stop studying and to move on and accomplish other things you enjoy?
I'm not sure if I'm like the best person to answer this.
Hey, you're being honest.
No, because like I do this a lot too. Like where like, I mean, it's true. Like as pre-health and like specific for me for pre-med and STEM majors, your GPA matters a lot. And there's like a lot of emphasis on your GPA, like for graduate school, for like med school, PA school, like your PA matters a lot. Your GPA matters a lot.
PA. We don't got time, so we use that. Your PA.
And then I mean, it's like that's like if it matters that much and it's that important, then obviously it's pretty easy to get lost and just trying to chase after that GPA, that grade. And I'm like a victim of that too, like where there are plenty of times where I will put like academics and school ahead of a lot of different things in my life. And then I guess for me, what works for me and in a form of like just like breaking free of that cycle where, you know, you're on a quota system and just one test after another, you're just trying to grind it out. Like you're just trying to get that A in the test or like the whatever grade you want just to get your desired GPA. What helps for me is like, I'll say my friends, just having a good friend group who, when they see that you're burning out or when they see that, oh yeah, you've just been studying for so long and they know you've been studying for so hard, just to they're able to like point out to you to be like, hey dude, you just gotta, I know you're trying really hard and that this is gonna be good for you in the future, but then why don't you just try taking a break? Or, you know, just like inviting you like out to get drinks or like to go out and eat or just hang out for something like that, or go on a hike. Just having those little, like those friends who are willing to like go out of their way and remind you that, yeah, you need to take care of yourself too. Take a break a little bit from like all the studying. Like that, it's what, for me, it's what helped a lot. Like just having those people there who are not afraid to point it out to you.
I need that. I think it's also like really important to have like other things, like other passions or hobbies or commitments aside from just school that force you to split your time. Because then I feel like that's when you really realize like, oh, I have so much time in a day and I'm actually wasting it studying when you think you're doing like the most important thing, you know? Like I feel like it took me to my third year to realize like, oh, I have been spending way too much time studying for things that I already know or things that I don't have to know because I just got like more activities that I'm actually like interested in and that I think are worth my time. So I did put my time in, and I actually did better, which is crazy. So yeah.
I mean, like, there's such thing as overstudying. Like, I mean, it took me a pretty long time to figure it out because I've always been like, the saying, like, study smarter, not harder. I've always been like, I study harder, not smarter. Like, I would like read all my notes again. I'll go through a textbook. I would like do everything I can for a test or like even a quiz. But it's just like, I realized like just doing all that stuff is like kind of unnecessary. Like, when you're over stressing and you're over studying, you start freaking out on a test and you're like, oh shoot, like what did I learn? Like all that studying just like on the test, like I don't remember anything at all. Like shoot.
Oh, bro, that's the most embarrassing thing. You're like, I studied 10 times more than all these people combined, and it's like, oh,
There's
I
too
don't
much
know
going
anything.
on. Too much
Yeah,
information.
Definitely been there.
About it can make you forget about stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like that makes it worse. And so yeah, study smarter, not harder.
Yeah, whatever that means.
Oh my gosh, I just want to bring up this short story, but my big, he goes to pharmacy school in Seattle, and he visited me recently. And when he was saying goodbye, he sent me a long text message, and at the end he was like, you grew on me, like, and I was like, what do you mean? Like, how? Okay, what did he say?
I don't know. You text me.
Okay, it was something like, I'm starting to talk like you, and I was so confused. I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, you used to always tell me to like have fun, you don't need to study that hard. And I was like, yeah, I always be telling people to not study and just to hang out with me. And I was like, not until recently I was like, academics is important.
Well, I think he was trying to say like you helped him relax and stuff. But it was the opposite for me. She ruined my GPA. I'm just kidding.
Second year, I used to be like, Kathy, come on, let's go to these AD events. Let's get some food. We can study for OChem right before the test. We got this. We are geniuses. Look where we are now. Just kidding. Going places.
Okay. Just lie to everyone. Just kidding. No, yeah. No, it's definitely important. Yeah. I feel like we both like rubbed off on each other because I was like studying too much and she was having a lot of fun. So like we
What's
found
the right way to say?
She was enjoying her college experience to another level. So like we kind of balance each other out.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I feel like that's another thing people don't realize. They think they come into college and it's like right away, like 1 quarter in, I know exactly what I need to do now. And it's like, no, it's going to take a quarter or 6 or 8 to finally realize, what's a good balance for all that stuff. So we wanted to know, like, since you're so into fitness, do you hold it as like high level as your academics? Would you say like in different categories, but like the same level, or is your academics always first?
Personally, for me, academics always first because I know that fitness is something like you can hop on, hop off of, and as long as you're consistent on it, you don't need to go all out every single day. But academics for me is like it's really important because it's for the future. It's just like getting a job for me in the healthcare field is super important as well to get experience. Like stuff that I need for my future in terms of where I want to be, like going to like medical school, like just like building my resume up for it. And all those stuff for me is like top priority, like where I wouldn't drop anything for it. If it's important, then I would put that first. And for fitness, in terms of fitness, I will put that like high, but not like at a point where it's just like it's eclipsing everything else. It's like below academics, below like getting a job, and then below like stuff that's gonna help me for the future.
Top 100.
Still be like on that though. It's pretty cool. Thank you. So lastly, we just want to know like how being an AED has impacted you, and how it's impacted your social circle and all that.
I mean, like I met a lot of new people in AED, like a lot of really new cool people, and I think AED has like going back to what I was talking with the social circle and like having friends with the right mindset. That's what I feel like that's the most like impactful way that the most wait, how do I phrase this better? That's the biggest way that AD has impacted my life in terms of just finding myself in a place where a lot of people are also trying really hard, whether it be like to pursue like a career for their future. But just having those people around you and seeing that they're all working really hard and we're all working really hard together toward our goals, it's motivating. But at the same time, they're also people that like having fun, you know, like they remind you to that you're working so hard that it's sometimes good to relax a little bit and just let go. And just, you know, no matter what, if you're trying your best and like you're doing the things you need to do, that'll be okay in the end. Like seeing all of our alumni go where they're going and like all the great schools they've been to, like it's really motivating to see how like, yeah, all the hard work is gonna pay off.
Okay, well, thank you so much for that. I'm so motivated now.
Thank
I'm gonna go run like 8 miles before the next interview. So. Yeah, thank you so much. Is there anything else you would want to say? Any last words?
No, that's it. Just like keep a positive mindset, guys, and then we'll get through this together.
All right.
Yes,
Thank you
we
so
love
much.
it. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye.